Welcome to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're tackling something pretty profound, actually, yet it's often invisible in our daily lives.
Hmm.
How do we transform the simple act of, buying something into a powerful force for healing our planet?
It's a huge question.
Get ready, because this story might just reshape how you see consumption. It's genuinely inspiring.
It's a topic that couldn't be more critical, really. For far too long, our purchasing habits, often without us even realizing it,
Right.
have been contributing to, well, massive ecological damage across the globe.
Yeah.
So this deep dive, it isn't just about pointing out the problems. We want to reveal why maybe our usual approaches aren't quite enough anymore.
Okay.
And then introduce you to a really audacious, maybe even game-changing idea.
Mm-hmm.
Something that aims to fundamentally rewire how we as consumers interact with the natural world.
That's right. We're diving into the pretty remarkable journey of Stewart Irvine, a Canadian entrepreneur, and his groundbreaking platform, BioSquares. It's an initiative born from, believe it or not, a simple question.
Yeah.
But with this monumental ambition to bridge that huge, often silent gap between us, the consumers, and global ecosystems.
Making every purchase regenerative.
Exactly. Making every single purchase an act of regeneration. Okay, let's really unpack this. So, our story with Stewart, it begins somewhere really relatable. Not a lab, not a boardroom,
Right.
his own closet.
Okay, closet clean-out time. We've
Yep.
all been there.
Totally. Like many of us, Stewart was doing his, annual sort out. Clothes, household stuff, putting it aside for donation.
Feeling pretty good about it, probably.
Exactly. He felt good, thought he was doing the right thing, keeping stuff out of landfill, giving it a second life, packed up boxes, assuming they'd find new homes through local charities.
Being a good assumption.
But then this question just hit him. A really simple but profound one. What actually happens to everything that doesn't sell?
The question most of us maybe don't ask.
Right. And the answer, as he started digging, was much more sobering than he could have imagined.
And this is where we start to uncover what Stewart stumbled upon. This vast, hidden global waste stream.
Hidden is the word.
Yeah. These unwanted goods, collected with the best intentions usually. They don't just get absorbed locally.
Yeah.
Instead, they become part of this overwhelming global crisis, shipped in absolutely staggering volumes across continents, mostly to countries in the global south.
Right.
It's a system where our individual acts, our perceived generosity, can kind of ironically fuel ecological harm. Big time. Often under this banner of, doing good.
And the scale of it is just mind-boggling. Our sources paint this almost unbelievable picture.
You ready for some numbers?
Okay, take Ghana. The Continental market in Accra, huge market. It receives around 15 million garments
15 million.
every single week from North America and Europe.
Wow. Per week.
Per week, imagine that. Enough clothes to fill a stadium basically week after week.
It's hard to even visualize.
And here's the really tragic part. A staggering 40% of those imports, unsellable, straight to waste.
40%.
That's 70 tons of textile waste daily that local systems just cannot handle.
No way.
So these clothes, they spill into rivers, they choke beaches, or they're just burned in these toxic open pits, turning communities into dumping grounds.
Devastating.
And it's not just Ghana. In Chile, tens of thousands of tons of unsold fast fashion just dumped annually in the Atacama Desert.
The desert.
Yeah, not small piles either. They form these clothing cemeteries so vast you can actually see them from space.
You're kidding. From space.
From space. It's like this stark sci-fi image of our consumer footprint.
That is deeply unsettling.
And then there's Kenya, the mitumba trade. That's the local term for this huge market of imported used clothing.
Right.
It brings in around 185,000 tons a year. And again, a huge chunk just ends up in toxic dumps, polluting vital ecosystems.
It's that out of sight, out of mind thing, isn't it? Except it's not out of mind for the people living there.
Exactly. It's just out of our sight.
That image of clothing visible from space, that's going to stick with me. It sounds like something from a dystopian film, but it's real.
Makes you want to just stop buying clothes altogether almost. Slight pause. But seriously, zoom out. The bigger picture is even bleaker.
Go on.
Globally, the fashion industry, over 100 billion garments produced every year.
Billion with a B.
Enough for 14 new items for every single person on Earth annually.
Wow.
Yet, get this, 60% of those items are thrown away within 12 months.
60%. After just 1 year.
Yep. totaling an astounding 92 million tons of textile waste each year. That is literally like a garbage truck full of clothing being dumped or burned every single second.
Every second. That's just relentless.
It's a silent tsunami of waste.
And what's so fascinating and, frankly, deeply troubling here is how our own individual acts, like donating clothes, things we think are benign.
Yeah, we think we're helping.
Exactly. Can inadvertently fuel such a massive hidden system of degradation. And this discovery, for Stewart, it was a huge turning point.
You can see why.
He realized his own efforts, well-intentioned as they were actually part of the problem, not the solution. When you look at the whole global picture, it forces you to ask, are we really solving anything or just shifting the burden elsewhere?
And his realizations didn't just stop there at the donation bin. He started looking deeper.
Beyond the waste stream.
Yeah, into the true story of product supply chains, often obscured, right?
Very often.
He recognized that even when he was trying to make responsible choices, buying from brands talking up their sustainable practices.
Recyclable packaging, organic labels, all that stuff.
Exactly. The deeper fundamental issues were still there. He knew the hard truth. Less than 1% of textiles, maybe a fraction of plastics, are ever truly recycled into new things.
Right. It's mostly downcycled or just ends up as waste eventually anyway.
So even our best intentions often hit this dead end.
Which raises an even more fundamental question, doesn't it? What about the ingredients themselves? Forget the packaging for a second. Even if that's sustainable, what are the ecological costs baked into the products before they even reach us?
The hidden environmental debt.
Precisely, the cost of the raw materials.
And our source material gives some powerful, honestly horrifying examples here.
Like what?
Okay, consider palm oil. It's in everything, right? Countless personal care products, snacks.
Ubiquitous.
A major driver of deforestation. Wiping out rainforests in places like Indonesia, Malaysia. Critical biodiversity hotspots. Threatening orangutans, so many other species.
Super shampoo or cookies.
Or cotton. We think of it as natural, but it's one of the most water-intensive crops there is.
Hugely thirsty.
Linked to the draining of entire ecosystems, like the Aral Sea. Remember that? Once the 4th largest lake in the world.
Now largely desert. It's tragic.
Then there's polyester, synthetic fiber derived from fossil fuels.
Plastic, essentially.
Yeah, big contributor to the microplastic crisis. It's everywhere now, oceans, even inside us. And we haven't even mentioned soy and beef. Key drivers of deforestation across the Amazon, turning the lungs of the planet into farmland.
Right.
Or lithium and cobalt for all our batteries or electronics, often mined in really fragile ecosystems, leaving this trail of destruction.
So if you connect all those dots, it becomes painfully clear. Behind almost every product we buy, there's often this story of biodiversity loss. The footprint goes way beyond just the packaging or disposal.
It's woven right into the item.
It's woven in.
Yeah.
And it's a debt the planet is paying heavily.
And this leads us to Stewart's next really crucial insight, especially urgent given, well, the state of things.
Okay.
He looked at the numbers. They're chilling. Since 1970, global wildlife populations plummeted by nearly 70%.
70% in just over 50 years.
Yeah. And scientists estimate 1 million species are now at risk of extinction.
1 million species.
It's not just a statistic, it's an unfolding catastrophe.
And this is precisely where Stewart's conclusion becomes, well, unavoidable.
Which is?
Protected areas, national parks, reserves, they're absolutely vital. We need them. But they just cannot keep pace with the sheer scale of destruction happening outside their borders.
Right, the damage is too widespread.
Exactly. Recycling, as we've seen, it helps a bit, but it's not enough. Even sustainability, as it's often practiced.
Which usually means just reducing harm, right? Or trying to maintain things as they are.
Precisely. That's no longer enough to reverse these devastating trends. What's required now for the planet, for its species, is active regeneration.
Regeneration. Not just sustaining, but rebuilding.
We have to move beyond just slowing down the damage. We need to actively repair, restore, rebuild ecosystems.
That's a really strong distinction you're making there. Regeneration versus sustainability. Because for many of us, I think sustainability still feels like, the goal, the gold standard.
It has been positioned that way, absolutely.
So what specifically about current sustainability practices did Stewart see as, well, falling short? Is it just cynical greenwashing we're talking about, or is there something more fundamental?
It's more fundamental, I think. I mean, yes, greenwashing is definitely a problem, no doubt about it.
Sure.
But the deeper issue is that sustainability often implies just maintaining something that's already declining.
Right.
You're trying to slow the rate of damage. rather than actually reverse it.
Okay, like trying to sustain a sinking ship.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Or think of it like this. If you're bleeding heavily, just sustaining the wound isn't the answer, right? You need to heal it, stop the bleeding, repair the damage.
Makes sense.
Stewart realized many sustainable practices are still quite linear. You know, take, make, dispose, maybe just a bit more efficiently.
Right.
They often don't account for the full life cycle cost, or, critically, they don't actively replenish what's been taken from nature.
Ah, the replenishment part is key.
Exactly. Regeneration is about actively building natural capital, increasing biodiversity, restoring soil health, cleaning up waterways, moving from a system that degrades nature to one that actually restores it.
Okay, so if the core problem is this massive disconnect you shop, you don't see the impact on biodiversity. You don't feel the deforestation from the palm oil.
It's invisible at the checkout.
Totally.
Yeah.
And if our current solutions, even sustainability, aren't enough,
Yeah.
how do we bridge that gap?
Well, that's the crux of it.
And it was wrestling with exactly that disconnect, that invisibility, that Stewart started to see a path forward, an idea that became BioSquares.
The bridge.
Exactly. BioSquares is, as far as we know, the first platform specifically designed to turn everyday products into active agents of regeneration.
Active agents, I like that.
The model itself, it's actually elegantly simple,
Wait.
quite revolutionary. Products carry these dynamic QR codes.
Okay, dynamic QR codes, not just static ones.
Right. When you scan one with your phone, you instantly unlock a BioSquare. Think of it as like a digital token representing 1 square meter of biodiversity that has been protected or, crucially, actively restored somewhere on Earth.
Okay, 1 square meter per scan linked to a real place. And what's really exciting here, and unique, is that the impact isn't just some vague promise. It's designed to be real, tangible, and verifiable.
Verifiable how? That's always the tricky part.
Absolutely. So a single scan could mean you've genuinely helped protect a specific piece of Amazon rainforest, or you've contributed to restoring damaged coral reefs in the Pacific.
Wow.
Or supported rewilding a degraded wetland, or even helped establish a new marine protected area. Stewart's insight here was that real transparency isn't just about showing data.
Right.
It's about building trust through direct, visible action. BioSquares aims to achieve this verifiability by directly linking each BioSquare not just to a code, but to specific, pre-vetted, on-the-ground conservation and restoration projects.
So you know where your impact is happening.
Exactly. You're not just donating to some general fund. You're connecting to a tangible, measurable outcome. Often, the platform aims to provide project updates, maybe geolocated proof.
Okay, that's different.
It radically shifts that consumer impact relationship. It turns what feels like a passive purchase into active participation in, well, healing the planet.
And the benefits, they're designed for everyone along the chain, right?
That's the idea. For brands, BioSquares can integrate pretty seamlessly into their existing packaging and supply chains.
Okay.
It does more than just track. It can authenticate the product, provide really valuable traceability, knowing where stuff comes from.
Which is becoming increasingly important.
Hugely. And it generates deep consumer insights, helping companies understand what actually resonates with customers who care about regeneration.
And it probably helps with regulations, too.
Big time. It's designed to align with emerging global transparency frameworks, like the EU Digital Product Passport.
Ah, yes, I've heard about that.
Soon, that's going to require detailed lifecycle info for products to be digitally accessible. BioSquares is positioned to help companies meet that, moving us towards much more accountable supply chains.
And for us, the consumer.
Yeah. The experience is designed to be incredibly simple, frictionless. You buy something, scan the code, boom.
Yeah.
You immediately see your direct impact. That little piece of the planet regenerated because of your choice.
Instant gratification, but for the planet.
Kind of. But BioSquares is aiming to be more than just a neat scanning tool. Stewart's building a much bigger vision.
Okay.
A comprehensive marketplace and an alliance of sustainable brands.
Yeah.
Everyone from innovative indie startups to established global players.
An alliance.
Yeah. So when you scan a BioSquare, you don't just see your impact. You also discover other vetted companies that are equally committed to regeneration.
Ah, building an ecosystem.
Exactly. This interconnected ecosystem, that's what can make BioSquares truly unique. It's designed not just to change one product, but to help shift entire industries towards a regenerative economy.
That's ambitious, though, bringing together such different players, small indie brands, maybe struggling for resources, alongside huge global corporations. That must present its own challenges. What's the common ground? What incentives does BioSquares offer to unite such varied interests under this one regenerative banner. Getting everyone on board feels like a massive undertaking.
You're absolutely right. It is a massive challenge. But the incentive structure is pretty clever and multifaceted.
How so?
Well, for the indie brands, the startups, BioSquares offers immediate credibility, a direct way to prove their commitment to regeneration, cut through all the greenwashing noise.
Gives them an edge.
Exactly, a unique selling point,
Yeah.
and connects them with this growing base of conscious consumers actively looking for these real solutions.
Okay, makes sense for them. What about the big guys?
For the larger established brands, it's becoming about future-proofing their business. They're facing increasing pressure from consumers demanding transparency and accountability.
Right.
And from those evolving regulations we mentioned, like the EU Digital Product Passport, BioSquares offers a verifiable, scalable way to meet those demands.
So it improves brand reputation, shows leadership.
Precisely. Demonstrates genuine environmental leadership, not just talk.
Yeah.
So the common ground, it's the shared recognition that the status quo just isn't sustainable, literally.
Yeah.
And that a regenerative future isn't just, ethically nice to have, but actually economically intelligent.
Yeah.
It's about collective impact and shared success in a totally new kind of economy.
Stewart Irvine's vision, then, it really is nothing short of a moonshot.
It really is.
To fundamentally rewire the very act of consumption. He envisions a world where every single purchase contributes directly to healing the planet instead of, inadvertently harming it.
Yeah.
Just imagine this. Really let it sink in. Billions of products sold every year globally.
Yes, staggering numbers.
What if every single one carried a direct link to ecosystem restoration? What if every shampoo bottle you bought actually helped rebuild a mangrove forest, vital carbon sinks, coastal protectors?
Yeah.
What if every t-shirt contributed to rewilding a grassland, bringing back native species, making the soil healthy again? What if every pair of sneakers supported coral reef recovery, nurturing the ocean's nurseries? It's truly transformative, turning a mundane transaction into this powerful statement of care.
The potential scale of that impact, it would be unlike anything we've ever attempted.
Right.
Instead of consumption being the main driver of biodiversity loss, which it largely is now, it could literally become the primary driver of regeneration. Which leads to this almost poetic question, doesn't it?
Go on.
What if our collective purchasing power, the very engine of our modern economy, could actively heal the planet?
Wow.
Making every transaction a positive step forward, a micro-investment in Earth's recovery.
But regeneration, as Stewart himself emphasizes, it takes massive collaboration.
For sure. No one can do this alone.
He personally funded and created BioSquares, remember, born from that simple question at a donation bin.
Yeah.
But he knows he can't scale it alone.
No.
It needs passion, expertise, commitment from all over business, tech, society.
That means finding those forward-thinking investors and partners. People who really get the value in scaling solutions that merge commerce and conservation.
Right.
It means bringing in those innovative indie brands, the startups, the SMEs, looking for an authentic way to connect with conscious consumers.
Yeah.
It needs the brightest technologists, creatives, strategists, people who want to build the actual infrastructure for this regenerative commerce. And most importantly, perhaps, it means you, the conscious consumer, the person listening who wants their everyday purchases to make a real measurable difference.
Turning your shopping cart into a tool for planetary healing?
Exactly that.
And that's our deep dive into Stewart Irvine's, audacious mission and the really inspiring story of BioSquares. His message seems crystal clear, direct, urgent. Protection isn't enough anymore.
Not enough.
Recycling isn't enough. Even sustainability, as we've mostly known it, isn't enough to turn this tide.
There's got to be regeneration.
Regeneration is the path forward.
And that core idea, that consumption, which for so long has been the engine of environmental damage, could instead become an act of healing.
Yeah.
Rather than harming. That's profoundly powerful. It challenges us all to rethink our role, not just as consumers, but as active participants, maybe even stewards, in restoring our natural world.
As stewards, I like that.
It really leaves us with a provocative thought, doesn't it? What if the power to regenerate the planet, to heal its wounds, was literally in your hands with every single purchase you make?
Absolutely. It truly makes you reconsider everything, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the future of regenerative commerce.
Thanks for having me.
We really hope this has given you a fresh perspective and maybe, just maybe, a new, more hopeful way to look at that next shampoo bottle or t-shirt.
Hope so.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.